Hello, everybody,
Well,
and welcome to the one and the only Five Guys on Live. Although tonight we don't have five guys, you just got three. The boys are back in town after a week off. And then our RNC delayed with a change of time. So we're super excited to be back at our almost regular time slot, 9 o'clock. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing this week? Rodney, how are you? Are you there?
yeah, I'm here.
Rodney, are you reading your notes? Are you reading the articles for the week right now?
No, I already read. I'm actually trying to, share the life for the people because, Brandon Money got 1.2 million, so they're trying to get about 5 of them.
Yeah. So I'm going to try something different. Hold on. There's a new way. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I'm trying some new stuff. You see, Rodney is projected on the screen in our new layout.
Okay.
I'm just trying new things. So when Rodney talks, I'm trying to make it to where, there we go. So I know how to switch us out. So when you're talking, we're going to feature you and we're going to make you big and we're going to blow it up. So welcome, Vince. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. I'm so full. It's just a night of celebration. We got two iconic queens going.
Vince,
what's up?
I'm going to be happy to let you take us on the very beginning of tonight's show. Welcome to our 4 guests who have already jumped on. We know that many people are super excited and watching the Brandy versus Monica. But you know what, Jay? Here's the thing, my brother. I know Vince is watching. He's watched. I think Rodney went to a watch party, so he was all into it. I turned on. I watched 2 minutes and I turned away. It didn't appeal to me. I'm going to let Vince have it. He's going to talk to us about it. So Nathaniel, we take this very seriously at Five Guys on Live. It's like a job. So when you have to show up to your job, we have to show up right here on live for whoever joins us and whoever is able to engage, because we are content creators and we do this for you, my friend. We're glad that you're here and we hope that you toggle back and forth and that you contribute to our discussion, because we do it for you. It doesn't matter if it's 5 people, 2 people, or 3 people, 1 person. We are going to be here every Monday, and it may not be all of us because things happen. But as long as there is one of us, you will have a Five Guys on Live. So, Vince, this is all about you, my brother. I know that you are the musician, and I know that you watch and you just said you feel full. My brother, tell us about the fullness. Hold on, you big. Hold on. This ain't supposed to be me. It's supposed to be you. Hold on. Here we go, Vince. Go ahead, my brother, and take it away.
Here I go. Yeah. So tonight is an amazing night. We have 2 beautiful Black iconic R&B queens that are killing it. They are at 1.1 to 1.2 million viewers on the Versus battle. Of course, we're talking about Brandy and Monica. Listen, y'all. They are doing a phenomenal job. They're taking us down memory lane. They're like bouncing back and forth from like their most current albums to the first album to the albums in the middle, back to the first, going to the current. Like, it's all over the place, but they're doing it in a format where they're telling their story, like their personal life testaments and the songs that were connected to those life things, trials and tribulations, ups and downs, all that stuff. Monica looks amazing. Brandy looks great. They sing a cappella. They going back and forth singing a cappella, harmonizing. So it's a great thing. My favorite part thus far is actually when Brandy did a tribute to Kobe and Chadwick and Nipsey and Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston. She played Missing You from the Set It Off soundtrack with Tamia, Gladys Knight, and Shaka Khan. I think that was on that song. And then right after she got done, Monica came with For You I Will from Space Jams. And it was like, oh, y'all trying to have me in my feelings tonight. So yeah, it's been amazing. You on mute.
Pardon me, Ben. So tell us, were those the 2 best performances that you've seen tonight? The Missing You, and then were those the 2 best songs of the night thus far?
I think that was my favorite moment of the night in terms of, I guess, best performances. Monica, when she did her single from her first album, Like This and Like That, she cut it and did a cappella and killed, and Brandy did some harmonizing with her. And then Brandy's Almost Doesn't Count. Clearly, that's a classic. Okay. Yeah.
So, Rodney, did you watch?
Yes, I want to say this. I want to say thank you, Monica and Brandy, for the culture. This reminded me of what true singers sound like. Not these days with all this auto tune mess, and they can't even hold a tune to save their life. Brandy and Monica killed it. They are still killing it. They got up to 1.2 million views, which is beautiful. It was like Black Power up in there. Michelle Obama checked in. Like I see Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Lil Jon. I haven't heard Lil Jon forever. Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden checked in. So and they got a mission out to vote as well. So I truly did enjoy that. And I wish them ladies best of luck. I love the unity, and I really do hope the people stop the beef. But however, Monica won.
You know that. So the question is, Vince, did Monica win? And I'm gonna say, I didn't watch it. I logged on and I saw like the little, set of sorts. And, I saw the Ciroc bar. I was like, oh, ooh. But, when it started, it just didn't appeal to me. It just didn't hold my attention. And so I actually turned my TV and started watching MSNBC. And I would assume that many people probably who are like me did the exact same thing. It's interesting how some people were really excited about tonight, whereas I was, really excited about the RNC and the DNC. So, Vince, do you agree with Rodney when he states that Monica won the battle?
Well, I am Team Monica all day, every day. So, of course, I'm always going to say Monica for the W every time she hit the stage. They still going right now, though. So I guess, once this is over, we can go back into the IGTV and, fast forward to see what they played during this show. But Monica always for the W for me.
You can also, I'm assuming it's going to be stored on YouTube, right? So that's what I plan to do. Like, I'm listening to what you're saying, Vince. Now listen to what Rodney is saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and kind of fast forward it past certain clips and just really to digest it probably tomorrow when I have more time, when it's just probably, because the live and I heard some of the talking and some of it was good, some of it wasn't. I will say that Monica looked great. I understand the difference in what they were trying to do. And I definitely understood the fashion difference. I understood, Brandy's going for like the bohemian artist, but Monica absolutely killed the look. So Monica and your stylist, if you had one, amazing. You are a true body role model. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying you won the battle because I haven't listened to the battle, but I am saying that, you are absolutely goals and body goals as I am going to fight hard to get this COVID-19 weight off. There are many, as we continue on in our topics, really the next topic, Vince, also goes to you because you lifted this and brought this to the Five Guys on Live table. Really sad news on Friday night that was heartbreaking for all of us to see, and that is the passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, it was so. And it's still incredibly sad. I was actually in the process of moving. I have a new spot now near SunTrust Park. But at any rate, I was moving and one of my friends called. He was like, Chadwick Boseman. I'm like, what? Chadwick Boseman passed away. I was like, you lying, man. And as soon as I saw the link, I shared it with the group. And this for me hit hard. And when celebrities pass away, of course I empathize and I'm very compassionate. My heart goes out to them, their families, all that stuff, 100%. But Chadwick, it's like, I guess for me and Black Panther, and then just his acting career prior to that, and even just his level of activism, like I felt like I really connected with Chad. And I know y'all know Wendy Williams be like, that's my friend in my head. Like I felt like Chadwick was like my cousin in my head. You feel me? So when I read the story, when I heard the news, I was like, this is completely surreal. In addition to everything that 2020 has just dished out and thrown at us, it's like, can we catch a break? We had Kobe, we got the pandemic, Trump crazy, Chadwick gone, and a slew of other people that have lost their lives, unfortunately. This year it became overwhelming for a hot moment for me, to be honest. It really did. So I just thank Chad for his creativity, for his artistic input, and what he's done for our community as Black men, as African Americans. It was good. What's my favorite Chadwick movie?
Yeah. Take a moment, Vince, and I want you to think about it. We'll give you some think time.
Okay.
And come back. And so we're going, and Candy, I want you to also answer the question after Vince answers the question. And that's a great question, really, for all of our viewers to just really join us and tell us, what was your favorite Chadwick Boseman movie and role? Rodney, what are your thoughts on the loss of Chadwick Boseman?
First, I want to address this because I remember when Chadwick posted a picture and he was looking really thin. And Black media and Black Twitter tore that man a new butthole. It was rude. It was nasty. They were saying, "Oh, he's sick. He got something." And in reality, he was really sick. He was battling stage 4 colon cancer. So COVID-19, y'all, is real. It has really put a lot of stress on a lot of people. You don't know what somebody's going through privately. He did not even talk about this. And I love his camp. Whoever's on his team, it didn't even get leaked out that he had cancer. He was working on Black Panther and so many other movies battling cancer. So that goes to show that that man was determined. He was still making videos for voting, like Vince said. He was still being an activist. That man is the bar. He has truly set the bar for a great and awesome work ethic. He is going to be missed and loved. A lot of kids are hurt. My nephew actually cried. He got the Black Panther thing at home. And there was a lot of Black kids superhero. Cause y'all remember we was wearing our African attire going to the movies. Everybody was like doing this, and it was he is truly, y'all, is going to be missed, and it's heartbreaking. It's sad, but I want to encourage everyone, whether you Black, blue, green, or whatever, watch what you say about people. You don't know what somebody's going through behind closed doors, and the fact he even still took a picture shows a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think right now. I've been talking all day. But it shows a lot of courage. That's what courage for him to do that. And I respect him, and always and forever, Wakanda forever.
Vince, we go back to you as you now tell us, though, the favorite role. Candace said that she really only saw him in Black Panther. What would you say about his filmography and the work that he's done and the contribution that he's leaving behind?
Yeah, so I've seen Black Panther and 21 Bridges, which was really, really good. And I also saw Get On Up, which I think was James Brown that he paid homage to, but the movie was about.
Yes, it was about James Brown, yes.
So to answer her question, I don't have a least favorite movie. I dare not even say anything in that light in regards to this specific conversation, to be honest. But I want to say my top 2 is definitely Black Panther and 21 Bridges. So I'm a big action, cop, robber, Chicago, New York, grimy type person anyway. I like those type of films, and that's what 21 Bridges was around as well. So yeah, those would have to be my top 2.
A general, again, heartbreaking experience. I know that I found out, I think everyone who watches it, you probably don't, you may not know me, but you definitely know that I'm a news junkie if you really follow us on Five Guys on Live. And I got the alert right away. I was probably one of the first person that I know of to post it. And it was just absolutely heartbreaking. My co-host on my Thursday night program, 3+1 Media, where we come on live, a live cast, she actually worked with Chadwick and she knows him personally. And she, took a break from social media because I actually was the first person who she saw it on, like I posted it in my stories and she saw it. And she texted Chad's best friend and said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And he didn't even know at the time that Chadwick Boseman had passed. So I'm assuming that whenever it became public, it had, it was a quick process. So I thought it was really heartbreaking, and it was a really sad addition to what for many people has been a really hard and challenging year. the loss of Chadwick Boseman for me was a motivation to start looking even deeper into gratitude and find things that I'm grateful for, because the year just continues to become more and more complex with loss and heartbreak and disappointment. And so really, whenever you have, to me, the combination of so many things that are negative in the world, you have to surround yourself with as much positivity as possible so that your mental state can be maintained. And you're right, Candy. I think absolutely it is the unfortunate part of social media and something that really does change the game. Gentlemen, I want to take a moment, and if I may add something that just to touch on. It's not a topic that was really brought in this week. It was brought in last week, but so much in the news has transpired. But before I do, I want to get permission from you guys to bring up a news topic that I didn't put in the discussion. But it's a good, we really talked about it. We really need to spend some time, and we really do. And it's only 3 people here. Like, if not, we're going to be done in like 20 minutes. We really need to talk about Jacob Blake. We really need to take a moment as 3 Black men and talk about what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where some new facts have emerged. What you see here, everybody, on this screen, that's Jacob Blake. There was a warrant out for his arrest. He was supposedly breaking up a fight, but that is still in question. That is not yet known. I'm trying to give the facts of the case without putting in as much of the emotion that I have around the case. He was, the police were trying to detain him. He was walking away. He was tasered twice. 2 tasers were deployed, and they didn't stop him or phase him at all. Possibly the tasers weren't charged. I'm not certain as to why the tasers had no effect on him. He then goes to his car, and as he's approaching his car, he is shot in the back a total of 7 times. The names of both officers has been released, but I don't have it handy because I really didn't plan to really talk or go into depth about it. I just wanted to lift it because I think it's a major issue. Because today, you've had several days of Black Lives Matter protests that resulted in the killing of Black Lives Matter protesters. And your president, Donald J. Trump, actually went to Kenosha, Wisconsin, actually addressed the people of the city, claiming that he was going to restore law and order. And he actually said words about this young man that were not actually condemning his action. This is Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse is 17 years old. He is from a neighboring town in Illinois. And just for those of you who are not familiar with Wisconsin, my family, I have a lot of family who lives in Wisconsin. If my cousin Belinda is watching, she's from Wisconsin, and she came here this weekend, and we had a chance to catch up with her and her beautiful children, my other cousins. And we went out, Chloe and her son, we went out, and she told me about Kenosha. Kenosha is actually close to Milwaukee, so it's a suburb of Milwaukee, not far away at all. And this young man, Kyle Rittenhouse, was driven to Kenosha by his mother with an assault rifle to protect the people from the looters and the rioters that were descending on the town. And he actually shot one protester, and then he shot this man. I think he shot this man. No, that wasn't the guy. He shot one guy first. This man, both of these victims are white men. He shot one young man. The second man ran after him to detain him, and then he shot this man point blank in the chest. And he killed both of these 2 white men, and then he injured another man by shooting him in either the arm or the leg. And what is unfortunate is, again, our president did not condemn him. Today, Kylie McEnany, whatever her name is, a press secretary, said that the president wasn't going to condemn him, and he didn't. And you had a number of Christian evangelical groups raise money for him. More than $250,000 has been raised on Facebook for this young man's cost for his attorneys by Christian groups in the United States that are calling him a hero and not condemning him at all, and saying that it is the fault of the government, the defund the police movement, Black Lives Matter, and Joe Biden that he killed those protesters. Tucker Carlson on Fox News said that this young man did this because out of fear for the people. I really wanted to bring this up, gentlemen, just kind of hear what you guys had to say and also hear what members of our audience have to say.
Well, I want to say I did submit the Kenosha topic, but oh my God, this is a lot. For one, why is your mom driving you with an assault rifle to protect any? For when I read the story, he traveled from a whole nother state to get to where he's going. So that means you went from one state to another to go protect businesses, and your mom supported the idea of this. And you go there, and the police officers see you walking down for what they said. They see him walking with this assault rifle. Past police officers, past people for protect and serve, and they let him walk because he's this color. He gets in there, and then he shoots 2 white people and a black man. Make it make sense. And then you have the president of the United States, and I don't give a damn what Melania Trump said about her husband. I don't give a damn if she made this wonderful speech. Everybody saying that, oh, she was so elegant. No, your husband's a fucking asshole. And I don't like saying the F word, but it pisses me off that we see here and he encouraged this craziness. You are deliberately dividing America. This is not America. This is not what America is coming to. We need to get away from this racist rhetoric that it pisses me off. And the fact that we have a post office now shoot somebody in their back, this is not what I want to raise my children in. This is one of the fears I have of having children because I don't know what I'll do about mine. You get what I'm saying? I cannot imagine what these parents and people are going through because people want to act like they protected something. You're not the police officers. And that's why we need better laws on these guns. Should anyone be walking around with no damn assault rifle? I don't give a damn. What do you need that for? Are you that scared to go outside? You need a rifle that can kill like that? And I'm going to say this. I truly hope that the people of the United States, and if you are a black person, I'm calling out my brother, and you are standing with Trump, you are the problem. You are the problem. This man appointed 198 judges that will still be here while he's gone. And guess how many of them are black, you guys? Guess.
There were 8.
Out of 198. And that's includes people of color. That man is not for you. That man is not for you. So I don't care what he did on business. That man is a racist asshole. And if you stand with him, you are not standing with me. And that's all I got to say. This really pisses me off to the utmost power. I'm tired of seeing black people getting shot. I'm tired of seeing racist white folks condemning it. And the fact that you're going to use in the name of God to support this white man, you are the issue. You are the problem. You are not American.
I completely agree with you, Rodney, especially on the point of Christians are supporting this teenager. If you are a Christian and we read the same Bible, we know that God is love. God is peace. What just happened in Kenosha is not any type of representation of who God is. So I don't know what tainted, tarnished view these people are viewing God as, but that's not the God that I know, and that's not the God that I serve. Specifically talking back to this point, I don't know if anybody is familiar or have seen the movie The Purge. It was a very big blockbuster hit some odd years ago where basically it was like all crime is legal in America for like 24 hours or something like that. And the people that sort of initiated the purge or voted the purge to happen in office were Caucasian people, white people of power. And this situation reminded me of that because, like Rodney said, and like the story says, you have a mother drive a teenager across a whole nother state with an assault rifle to allegedly protect businesses. To me, I feel like the intention was for a killing spree. I felt like because he knew that he could get away with it, and he knew that he was possibly going to get over $100,000, and he knew that the president was not going to condemn him, as we've seen with that Charlottesville situation. There's good people on both sides, so we already know Trump wasn't going to man up and say anything about this situation, and he knew. He knew, the mama knew, he knew, his supporters knew, whoever told him to do it, they knew. And it is sad. And for me, it's incredibly alarming, because when I watch The Purge, I'm like, man, this is a crazy movie, but I hope this will never happen in the States. But this type of situation, for me and my optics, looked like a prequel to how any type of social justice unrest rally protest could just turn into a killing spree, a mass shootout anyway. And it's so alarming. It's so disheartening. It's just despicable. It's a disgrace. His mama should be ashamed. And I really hope that he gets held accountable. And you want to bring Jesus into it? Yeah, only God can judge you, and you gonna get judged. Believe that, because he got the final say.
You know, you're absolute, Vince. Everything that you said, I'm inclined to really agree with and strongly endorse. I want to say that the people that are supporting Kyle Rittenhouse and the murder that he's committed, even the people that are supporting and backing these brown men and women, they're not real. They're not Christians. They're not followers of Christ. They don't adhere to the way. And I saw a comment in the chat about, you know, that's why I'm really against Christianity, or why it really doesn't appeal to me. That's not Christian. Like, these people are evangelicals. These people are committed to a denomination of false and fake teachings. The Bible teaches us there will be many false prophets and false movements that will come. But people who really know the Lord know him in their heart. And the Lord that we serve, if you are a real follower of the teachings of Jesus Christ, and you really adhere to what the spiritual laws and the universal laws that God espouses you, will let you know and always guide you towards truth and love, always towards truth and love. And again, what we see with Kyle Rittenhouse and these people that are supporting him, that's not love. And that most certainly isn't Christianity. Don't let that turn you against the real teachings of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I also fully hope that Kyle Rittenhouse is punished to the fullest extent of the law, and that he is given life in prison for his charges. I would advocate and say the death penalty, but I don't believe the death penalty for any man. So I also won't believe it for a baby racist. And I also want to say, I really fought his mother more than him, and I want her to be in jail. I want Kyle's mother, who drove him to Kenosha, Wisconsin to kill people with an assault weapon that he could not even purchase himself. I want her to go to jail. I also want the police officers who allowed him to be on the street. Every cop who saw this 17-year-old on the street breaking and violating curfew, they need to lose their jobs as well. They let this young man go. He shot 3 people, and then he got back in his car and he drove to his house. Those cops need to be held accountable for their absolute failure and dereliction of duty. I also want to emphasize that when it comes down to Kyle Rittenhouse, guys, as angry as I am about this situation, I'm also empathetic to him. And let me tell you why, because I know neither one of you, I know nobody on this line is probably going to understand what I mean when I say that I have empathy for Kyle Rittenhouse. And it's not a whole lot, but it's a little bit, because he's still a 17-year-old child. This kid has been radicalized by the teachings of his family, the false teachings of his faith, and the teachings of Donald J. Trump and the conservative Republican radical right. These people talk about the radical left. There is no such thing as a radical left. The radical left wants to protect Black and brown lives. The radical left wants to take guns and make sure that they're in the hands of responsible citizens and protect the Second Amendment of those who are not going to use guns to harm and kill people in the way that Kyle Rittenhouse and his mother did. That's the radical left. But the radical right tells you to get and pick up your arms and liberate Wisconsin, liberate Virginia, liberate Minnesota. These are actual tweets that President Trump sent. President Trump urged his supporters to take up arms and come to the White House and have MAGA night and protect it from Black Lives Matter protesters on Black Lives Matter Boulevard. This is the type of rhetoric that comes from the radical right. So I'm tired of hearing about the radical left. It's time for us to put the spotlight on the radical right, because the radical right, they're the ones taking the lives of innocent people, both black and unfortunately many of them also being white. That is something that we need to recognize and thank. I'm appreciative of our allies, and I pray for their souls. And I pray them to heaven, and I pray that they are recognized by the American people and by the black community as the true heroes that they are. We have a few comments here, and I'm gonna go into the comments as we bring everybody kind of back in. And that, Candy states that, we've always known these people have been there. Now that blatant racism is just able to be shared. And Tatiana Adams said, let's be real. It's mostly white evangelicals. It's not actually Christians. That's what I'm saying. These are evangelicals, not Christians. And this is a voting block that has nothing to do with Jesus. And you're right. One of the leaders of the evangelical junior, Jerry Falwell Jr., just had to step down. He was president of Liberty University, but a couple weeks ago, he was seen with his pants down. He was showing his bikini underwear. He was showing his bikini underwear in his happy trail with his wife on social media. And then he actually had a former pool boy come out and said that he enjoyed watching his wife and the pool boy have sex while he sat in the corner and indulged in other carnal pleasures. This is a leader of this evangelical movement. But yet and still, these are the people that sit up on high and judge everybody else. It is a shame. These people have not only perverted their marriage, but they are also perverting Christianity in the eyes of people who are out here searching for their way. Don't follow these false prophets. It's a shame. And while we have people like Jerry Falwell Jr. perverting and cucking Christianity, you also have people like these protesters who are perverting the Black Lives Matter movement. Rodney, I think this is a topic that you brought up into this week's consideration. Tell us about it.
CJ brought it up.
I didn't bring this.
Oh, CJ brought it up. Well, I will just give a little bit,
Is this about the looting and unemployment?
Yes, and if you
right?
loot,
yeah, okay, yeah. So what I have read, yeah. So I'm gonna say this: looting is wrong, okay? But I'm not here to tell someone how to protest. I'm not here to tell someone how to show their feelings or show their anger. Do I believe that you should lose your unemployment benefits? And I feel like that's a racist thing to say because everybody's on unemployment. So again, that's nothing. But if you are looting and they say you are rioting as well, you can be eligible to lose your unemployment benefits. You'll be fined. They'll fine you and you'll pay the police car for them coming out there trying to contain it. Do I think you need to go to jail for doing that? Yes, wholeheartedly go to jail. But when we are trying to take people basic rights, they paid into it. You cannot get unemployment that you paid into it. So I don't believe in that. Lock them up, let them get a ticket, let them see the day in court, and keep it moving. But I do not agree with government trying to tell somebody what they can and cannot lose when it comes to what they worked for. I do not agree with that. This is how I feel on it.
So for me, I watched Representative, I'm sorry, I have his name right here. Oh crap. Representative Jim Blanks. He's a Republican from Indiana, and this is his bill called the Support Peaceful Protest Act. So he did an interview on Fox Business, I want to say maybe yesterday or the day before yesterday, just explaining more about the heartbeat of this bill that he offered, that he actually is trying to get passed. And his very words, and I quote, is that he wants to utilize his bill as a fear deterrent, similar to when Trump did that executive order around people knocking down and tearing down the Confederate statues some odd months ago or what have you. And then Trump was like, if you do that or get caught doing that, you get 10 years in prison, And since he made that executive order, we haven't really seen a lot of monuments being torn down. So that is basically his reason, is just wanting to strike fear in people to not riot and to not loot. I definitely agree with Rodney with what you just said. rioting, in my opinion, is wrong. Looting is wrong. Because we see our very own people that get affected by looters. We saw that in Atlanta, and that's just an unfortunate thing. As a business owner, we wouldn't want our stuff to be broken into and trashed and damaged and slandered and degraded and stuff. So I get that 1000%. So I feel like people that are looting should be held accountable. However, he also mentioned in the interview that because there's so much looting going on, it's affecting taxpayer dollars. And now I'm thinking like, okay, let's say it's another big social justice unrest. Like we have another, God forbid, George Floyd situation. And it's like crazy protests going on across the nation, across the world. And, some looting and riots happen through the cities across America. You mean to tell me that you gonna potentially lock up, let's say 75 to 250 people per night and put them in prison, have them get charged, get them a court date, which could be 2 to 3 to 4 months down the line, go to the judge? Like, this whole process, is that not wasting tax dollars, money too? Tax money, you get what I'm saying? So it's like his reasoning for me, it's I get it, but it's so unnecessary. And to be honest, same thing with Trump, same thing with this representative from Indiana. You are skipping over the issue. We would not be rioting, we would not be looting, we would not be protesting if police brutality and racism did not exist. Okay, if people would actually have respect and decency and dignity and saw people as equal people, we would not even have this conversation. So instead of putting that energy towards the actual problem in systematic racism, all that stuff, we want to hop over and continue to turn this blind eye, be careless and be cavalier towards it, or what have you. And now we're just trying to put Band-Aid bills and all this little riff-raff stuff in the atmosphere just to, piece it together for a time being. It's so backwards. It's so backwards. Whoa, Rodney, you close. It's so backwards to me. So yeah, I see what he's trying to do, but just the way it's being rolled out is like, nah, bro. And then, and I'm sorry to keep going. We're Zach, I'm sorry. You can even chime in on this. We still in limbo with unemployment, because he said he actually wants to take away enhanced unemployment. So he was like, the $600 that they got, that wouldn't be given to them anymore. If that $400, that wouldn't be given to them. Y'all ain't even came up and signed the bill for that anyway. So what is gonna do? What you gonna do?
So let me say this. I wasn't gonna say this, but you said chime in. I'm just gonna say, number one, the New York Post is a piece of trash. It's a trash publication. So one thing about me is, if you publish garbage, I'm not going to read you. The New York Post, whenever anything pops up on Facebook or on Twitter from the New York Post, I don't care how good it is, I'm not going to read. I'm not going to click and give them any readership from me, because they are a trash magazine or newspaper that really is meant to tear down and attack the Democratic Party, liberalism, and progressivism. So this is that whole article is probably sensationalized. It probably has no real merit, or it can't happen. It's so what's even said, it's worth talking about, but it's something that can happen. I do Newsweek the same way. I'll never read another Newsweek article again in my life, and I really encourage all of our viewers to never read another Newsweek article either. Let me tell you very briefly, and I'm gonna let you have it, Vince, because I need to go and get my tea. I just warmed up some more tea. I do not support Newsweek for the same reason I do not support the New York Post. They're the ones who published the very first claim that Kamala Harris, a natural-born United States citizen, should have her citizenship questioned. They started that whole movement in Republican conservative media. It was irresponsible and it was ignorant, and I can't support it. Newsweek has been on the shelves for my whole life. It was in my high school library, elementary. I've read Newsweek since I was a child, but I will never again read another article in that piece of trash magazine. Take it away, Vince.
So just to chime in this really quickly, because I agree about the New York Post, but when I went on YouTube and I saw the actual interview that the representative did with Fox Business, they literally pulled verbatim quotes from what he said and crafted that article. So I guess that is the source, because it's straight from his mouth. I just wanted to put that out there.
No, I definitely think there is honesty and validity to this. But what I'm saying is this law it's not going to pass. Like this, you can't, he can't do this. People create these people create bills and laws for sensationalism all the time, but it can't go anywhere. And that's what I'm saying. So we go now to our next topic, Rodney, and we're going to, I think this is your topic, or you know what, it may not, I think it's Vince's. I don't know, it's one of y'all. Whoever put this topic in the discussion board, I don't like it either. And I'm going to tell you why after you cue it up. Tell us about it, Vince.
Why don't you like it? Okay.
You're going to hear once you give us the background, then I'm going to drop a few bombs on it.
Okay, so when the whole social justice unrest really hit a huge fan after George Floyd's unfortunate passing, a lot of companies were coming out of left and right saying, Black Lives Matter, we're going to support communities of color, minorities, So Facebook basically said around that time that they were going to contribute $100 million to communities of color, African American communities, so on and so forth. And so this is just one of the ways and or elements that they are planning to contribute to our culture, our community. So they've decided to give away $40 million to small Black businesses. So the company plans to issue $10,000 of grants to Black entrepreneurs with up to 50 employees. The deadline was actually today, or what have you. And I have another statistic for that. Is earlier this month, the New York Federal Reserve released a study showing 41% of Black-owned businesses across the country has shut down between February and April because of COVID-19, and only 17% of white-owned companies, small businesses, have shut down during the same period. So I think for us as African American small business owners, I thought it was just a good element, a good thing for people to take advantage of if they have been affected by this pandemic. I don't know why people would turn down free money. I thought that this was an admirable thing for Facebook to do. And also for me, I feel like this is because you always hear people and companies say, well, we're going to support this and we're going to give to this in the midst of the fandemonium of it all. And they never do. You get what I'm saying? It's sort of like save face. So this could possibly be the way that they actually contribute to it. So we'll see.
Vince, are you ready?
Wait, let me say this before you do that, because I know you're gonna give a whole spiel.
But if I don't, it won't be valid it won't be as good because it doesn't come right after what Vince said.
Well, let me say this: I got approved for it, so they giving me my money. So
we got a testimony.
Look, thank you, Facebook.
And that's great. That's great. I'm sure that Herschel Walker got some money when he got up on the stage and embarrassed the Black community. I'm sure that Vernon Jones got some money when he got up on the stage and embarrassed the Black community. I'm sure that Jared, whatever his name, also got some money when he got up on the stage and embarrassed the Black community. I'm sure that Diamond and Silk, two raisins and milk, also get money when they embarrass the Black community. And I know that Candace Owens, with that burnt, damaged hair, also gets money when she embarrassed the Black community. So, Rodney, you feel empowered and proud to take that money from Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. This is what I'm going to say about that. Vince, I want you, as an educated young Black man of immense promise, to think through everything like this, because in your life, you're going to see way more instances of businesses trying to rectify their wrongs and how they've done the Black community wrong by throwing money at the Negroes. And you're going to watch the Negroes grab the money and then promote and say, oh my God, I'm so thankful. I'm so proud of Facebook because they care about the Black community. Wendy's did it when they gave Donald Trump mass amounts of money, and they turned around and gave money to HBCUs to fix the problem. H&M did it when they called us monkeys. Starbucks did it when they arrested two innocent Black men that were having a meeting and then turned around again and made their employees or forbade their employees from wearing Black Lives Matter pins. This is something that happens in business far too often. Mark Zuckerberg has a horrible reputation of undermining liberal progressive causes and movements. But that is not the real problem. And that to me isn't the heart of this, of why I'm not excited or willing to take this excitement around this business. I pulled up the article and I'm actually writing content. I'm going to post this in my face on Facebook. I will also, viewers, post it on our page, and I'll post it in our, well, I may not post it on the page, but I'll definitely post it on the Five Guys on Live group. So if you're not a member of the Five Guys on Live Facebook group, search for it and join us. Let me hit some of the highlights really quickly for you. I usually write this out and then I'll talk about it, but I wasn't going to go this deep into it because it's not my topic. But I'm going to say this. First off, when you had the shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Facebook purposely blocked the information about Kyle Rittenhouse, where you could not search or find anything about the names of the police officers or the names of Kyle Rittenhouse. They did this on purpose to protect these people's identity. When you have the opposite happening, when you have crimes being committed by Black people, it's easily searched and found. I've never heard of Facebook blocking a search where you could find information. So if I would have posted about Kyle Rittenhouse 3 days ago, you couldn't see the post. They were suppressing it. Mark Zuckerberg came out and said this was a operational mistake or an operational failure, and he addressed his workers about it 3 days ago. But guys, guess what? It also gets worse. In addition to that, they talk about how Facebook has allowed militia groups to organize to go out. The reason why Kyle Rittenhouse is a product of the Facebook organization. These militias and these right-wing radicals that are going out to kill Black Lives Matter protesters, they're organizing on Facebook. And Facebook knows about it. And Facebook isn't stopping it. Facebook could have saved lives, but they chose not to. This hate speech, this radicalization, these alt-right white nationalists who want to kill me, they're on Facebook. And Mark Zuckerberg allows it to happen. His employees have begged him to stop it. His employees have advocated for its end, and yet and still they do it, and they are complicit. Google it, research it, because it is real. It is an attack on Black and brown lives, and Mark Zuckerberg is a part of it. And that's why, Vince, I have no endorsement. I have no endorsement. I have no love for Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook.
Well, as we use their platform. But I'm gonna say this honestly though, Vince. You brought a good statement when you said Federal Reserve have reported 43%, correct me if I'm wrong, of Black businesses who are lost. I'm a part of a Black business group on Facebook. It's called, I want to make sure I say it correctly, Black Dollar Matter. It's like probably 100,000 people in there and all that good jazz. When Black people start supporting Black people, we don't have to worry about Facebook and everybody else going out there and other companies who do horrible things according to Zach, who try to give you money to shut things up. We wouldn't have to worry about that if Black people support Black people. However, hold on, let me finish. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're right. However, we have this crab in the barrel bucket mentality. But until we get off a master plantation and stop letting what people did us 400 years ago still ruin our minds and how we think, we will always be behind. And let me tell you why the reason is only 17% of white people business who only lost, because Black people support them, Black people go to them, and Black people think their businesses are better than Black people think white businesses are better than Black businesses, and that's just what it is. So until we get rid of that thinking, and then white folks support white people, let's just keep it real. So until we get rid of all that crazy thing that we do, we will always be on the lowest of the totem pole. And unfortunately, it's a God's truth. Like I had a conversation with someone who's off record about me giving somebody information about what I did, and they were like, "Why do you do that?" They're going to get the same thing you going. I said, but why do I care? I know it's for me. I'm not afraid of another Black person or another person of color getting something or getting knowledge of what I have. You see, it goes so much deeper than what I'm talking about, you guys. Like, we think that we want to withhold everything. We want to pass us up. Let's get rid of that. Get off of master plantation. We're still on there. We're still enslaved in our minds. So until we get rid of that crazy rhetoric, we will always be there. This is how I feel. And again, with Facebook, I am going to take your grant money. I am going to use it, and I'm going to use it again if you get out there again. So keep getting it. I'm going to keep applying.
So Rodney, what you just talked? What did that have to do with Facebook?
That we wouldn't need Facebook money if Black people support Black people.
Okay, that makes. I agree with that, and I support it. I think that's very valid. I also want to. Candace said Christianity. Candy, that has nothing to do with Christianity whatsoever. Get off my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He died for me. He died for you, girl. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. I want to say to that. And here's a good point brought up by Candy. Candy is officially one of our lifestyle commentators for 3+1 Media. And when you talk about we don't own anything, that really is what has motivated me during the pandemic and during the Black Lives Matter protests to really go hard and strong with 3+1 Media, because the news has the power to influence and it has the power to shape perception. And we have responsibility to be honest, to be forthright, and to really share the truth. And so regardless, I don't want any investment. I don't want any money. I want to build it from the ground up so it is mine and I can do with it as I will and as I want to. I do hope, Rodney, that you get the Facebook grant. I hope that you get all the money and all the opportunity that can come to you with it. And I hope that you use it well. But and again, and you deserve it. Every single thing that they're giving, you deserve it, because Jesus paid the ultimate price, but so did your ancestors. So much was taken from our people historically that anything that you're given, you deserve. So I absolutely can't. I'm not knocking you for doing it. I'm just simply expressing here is why they're doing this. So the motivation behind it isn't to help the Black community. It's to fix the PR disaster that they've caused in their failure to protect the Black community. Again, what Facebook is doing isn't in the interest to help the Black community. It's to save face for the damage they've done to the Black community. I just want to emphasize that and say it. In addition, last week we had the Republican National Convention. We talked about the Democratic National Convention. I want to know, what were your thoughts, gentlemen, about what you saw from the Republican National Convention?
You want to know what my thoughts was? Y'all ready? Y'all ready to see it? I have nothing to say about that trash box. But let me say this while I'm on it. What's that guy named in Kentucky? I can't remember, the one who was not convicted of constitutional Breonna Taylor.
The Attorney General of Kentucky is Daniel Cameron.
Okay, Daniel Cameron.
He's refusing to arrest. He's refusing to take any action against the killers of Breonna Taylor.
I just want to address him because I saw his little speech. Daniel Cameron, right? Okay. Daniel Cameron, shame on your black butt for getting on that stage honky donkey tonky for them white folks. Shame on you for knowing that a sister was murdered. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I don't care if Breonna Taylor dated 100 million goddamn drug dealers. I don't care if she dated people who did whatever. That was not her. Now, if they busted that girl's house and shot her, that was wrong, you guys. That was not called for. If you to get up there and knowingly that you are protecting your good old white pals, this what you're doing. How can you sleep at night? How can any black person in America sleep at night supporting Donald Trump? I really want to know, how do you sleep? Excuse me. Do you not see the color of your skin? Your mother is black. And she was a single black mother at that. Did you not see the hardship that your mother went through for you to act so holy and mighty like you just this guy because you got that approval? You got your approval from your white counterparts. I don't get that. Shame on you for getting up there. And Melania Trump, I don't give a damn how elegant your speech was. I don't give a damn what you said. I don't think you like Donald Trump, but your ass married to him, so you are guilty by fault. And I'm not going to trust anything your ass say. I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a racist asshole, and he's married to an immigrant, which is funny at that. But that's the same thing Hitler did. Hitler wasn't even blonde hair, blue eyed person, but he convinced a whole bunch of people to kill people who look just like him. So, with that being said, I'm not voting for Trump. The RNC was horrible. It was dumb, and it was racist piece of shit.
So for me, I didn't watch it. I wasn't compelled to watch it, to be honest. I just felt like at the end of the RNC, I'm sure there'll be some robust recap that I can watch on YouTube, which is what I did. So I did not give them a view from me from last Monday through Thursday. I know in other shows we've done, we've sort of, briefly talked about the Trumplicans and then the Republican Party, from which we know the Bush era, so on and so forth. Honestly, even though I know where I stand politically and who I choose to vote for, I still appreciate bipartisanship. I still like to have healthy conversation and see things from the other side, because everybody has different upbringings and experiences. How we were raised, how I was raised in Atlanta does not match how someone is raised in North Dakota. So how I vote is probably not how the person in North Dakota is going to vote, or what have you. So I do try and try to have some type of desire to see what the Republican Party once upon a time says and does, and why they are the way they are. But as of this past 4 years, I just can't do it. It's just so much strife and division and just shenanigans and buffoonery and racism at a huge high. It's like I cannot even stomach and bring myself around to watching it in real time. So when I actually watched the recaps and stuff like that, a couple of things that, and I know the title, Zach, that you put in there, fact checking the RNC. One major blow that really just rattled me was when Donald Trump Jr. said that no one will be safe in a Biden America. So are we safe in a Trump America? Because let's talk about it. We got racial inequality, social injustices, Black people still getting shot. Then you got a whole pandemic. Over 100,000 people done passed away. Cases are now past 1 million. So just those two.
And 6 million.
So
hold on. He also getting his friends off a trial. He letting his friends free.
Right.
And children are in case.
Right. So with that said, you're talking about no one will be safe in a Biden America. Let's talk about a Biden America. Let's go backwards. Simply talking about the pandemic. When Obama and Biden, that administration or what have you, and that Ebola situation came about, and only maybe under 5 people passed away from it, and they handled it. They had the pandemic prediction, or what's the word? Prevention plan and stuff like that. Like, that's safe to me. But you're now telling me that I won't be safe in a Biden America. But in these past 4 years, we've seen death in so many facets. We've seen so much unsafety happening. I mean, you're catering to dictators. You're saying we're not going to be safe in a Biden America, but you're cuddled up with North Korea? Make it make sense. Like Rodney say all the time, make it make sense. You simply can't. So, digging into the article, digging into, it was a reporter on CNN who did a lightning round of fact checking Trump's speech or what have you. It was like he dispelled 20 lies like in freaking 35 seconds. I encourage everybody to YouTube that and watch it. It's like, bro, y'all just giving us 4 nights of lies, man. I can't even bring myself to it. I can't.
There were a lot of untruths. I even feel like what he did wasn't sharp enough. It was good, but it wasn't, to me, as detailed as blatant as it was. I know I went through and I identified for me the top lies or the most egregious lies told is that, number one, the most constant lie. I broke the lies down to 4 lies I want to share real quick. And then, Candy, we're going to talk about the legalization of marijuana from New York Representative Nadler. That's where it came from. Number one, the most often told lie is that Joe Biden wants to defund the police and make your lives less safe. Joe Biden does not want to defund the police. Joe Biden actually wants to give more funding to the police so that you have more money for counselors, for police officers to have better mental health. He wants to have more training for police officers around biases and implicit bias so that we avoid rash actions. And also there's a number of things that have been proven to cause damage and harm and death that he wants to also have training and alternate measures to avoid that from happening. So that right there is the most consistently told lie that's being floated around from the RNC. The most blatant and obvious lie was that President Trump said that 91% of veterans love me and like me because he passed the Veterans Cares Act. He did not pass the Veterans Cares Act. He didn't do anything of the sort. The Veterans Cares Act was passed in 2014 by President Barack Hussein Obama, where Joe Biden was vice president. It is called the Veterans, I want to say it's called the Veterans, it's Veterans Accountability, Cares, and something else, Appreciation Act. That law was passed by President Barack Hussein Obama. And for him to say that he passed it, I mean, that is the name of the law ends in of 2014. This man was nothing but a scratch on the ass of America in 2014. So for him to sit up here and say that he passed that law is absolutely disrespectful to anyone who just simply has Google. You don't even have to be able to read to fact check that this man told this huge egregious lie. And the most deadly lie that he told was that the fatality rate of coronavirus or COVID-19 cases in America were the lowest in the world. That is a lie. Russia, Israel, Japan, there's several major countries that have far lower rates of death than what we have. He's telling these lies, misleading the American people, so much so that people are not even going to get tested for COVID-19 anymore. Testing rates are dropping all around America. People still are contracting COVID-19. More people have COVID-19 today than had it in April. Yet everything is open. People are rushing to send their kids back to school, and people are refusing to go get tested. People are sitting at home sick and still carrying on with their regular lives, infecting everyone around them, including their family, because they don't want to shut down businesses and they don't want to shut down schools and they don't want to protect their fellow Americans. And they are doing this because of President Donald J. Trump and the rhetoric and the lies he has pumped out to the community. It is sad, it is unfortunate, and it really is an embarrassment. And the thought that this man may get reelected breaks my heart.
I completely agree with everything you said, Zach. I have to jump piggyback off of what Rodney said around the Facebook conversation about how African Americans, we have that crab in a barrel mentality. I also feel that's the same way with the Republican Party constituents, the followers, because the fact that I feel like they should be insulted because now you're downplaying my intelligence with all of these crazy, ridiculous lies that clearly Google, any search engine realistically on the internet can dispel just like that. But they know their base will not research it. They know they won't. They just see Republican, they see a red and white hat, and just because it supports the cause, allegedly, or whatever, then I'm gonna just hop on the bandwagon and not even recognize that this is still affecting me too, regardless of what side of the aisle that you sit on. And you often hear Black Republicans, to shift it a little bit, you often hear Black Republicans, the Democrats have, they've been finessing the Black community for so long, and we need to be free thinkers, and we need to do this, that, and the third. And it's like, okay, let's say that. Let's remove the Democrats out the equation. Let me be a free thinker. Even as the Republican Party, what you have done in the past 3.5, close to 4 years, would that even appease to me as a Black person? Even if I didn't know a Democratic Party existed, as Donald Trump as the president and as your party, do you think me still facing what I face as a Black man? That don't even make sense to me. So it's like, okay, let me be a free thinker. But if the party that I'm actually siding with has been more for me, then you're anti that. It's like the Black Republicans, that whole conversation right there is so draining to me. It's completely draining to me sometimes. But I just saw a lot of that during the RNC recaps as well.
It's a strategy being used by conservatives against Black people, specifically Black men, Vince. So what you just hit on is a strategy. And the strategy is convince Black men that if they are Democrats or supporting the Democratic Party, they're not free thinkers. Let me tell you how, I think everyone knows that I'm an active TikToker, and my TikTok name is the same as my IG name, The Zactivist. And you can go, if you want a good laugh, go on my TikTok and look at the comments, because I am trolled by racists all day, every day. I've screenshot some of the most egregious racist comments that I have gotten. I'm going to post them on Facebook later so you can see them. But then I have some really hard comebacks. Like, there's no filter on for me on TikTok, because, if you come at me with some racist nonsense, I'm going to come back. But every single white man who posts on my TikTok talk about Black people not being free thinkers. And if you're a Democrat, you're not a free thinker. This is a reality. Russian bots target Black men because they feel that we are susceptible to manipulation and voter suppression. You have Hispanic men and women to look at. You have Jewish men and women. You have gay white men and women. Of all these groups of minorities in the United States, including white women, they chose Black men to come after, because there is something, gentlemen, there is something about us that makes us acceptable to this nonsense. And I would not have voiced this before this year, because I would have not believed it. I didn't see it in 2016, but I see it now, because I have had to unfriend my own frat brothers over the things that they have said on social media about Senator Kamala Harris. I have said, this is how every post, this is what I'll say. Because I believe in my oath. I believe in my creed to my fraternity. If you are ever a brother in need, contact anybody in the frat to find me, and I will be there for you. But what I will not do is be your Facebook friend and support this nonsense and the lies and the suppression of the Black vote, because you are a slave, you are a coon, and you are not worthy of my viewership and time on this platform. And I'm serious about it, and I'm hardcore. So we have to protect our minds. It's not that you don't hear them saying to white men, if you are supporting Donald Trump, you're not a free thinker. It is designed to attack us and divide us. And unfortunately, it's working. Candy said, wow, that's crazy.
And you know what? Those Russian bots are so real. Yep, let's talk about it. Russian interference is real. Literally, I will hop on any of like the mainstream news publication Instagrams, and especially I'll say this: as soon as Joe Biden chose Kamala Harris for vice president, I was going through people's comments, and a lot of the pro-Trump or anti-Kamala dogging her, degrading her. I would click on the profile. No icon, 1 follower, and you got like 582 likes and stuff like that. So while they troll these pages, I be trolling them. I be like, you're a bot, Russian bot, pay attention, bot. Hey guys, that's a bot. Like, you gotta troll the trolls.
Vince, I literally told someone to go back to Chernobyl and drink water and die, because that's where they had the nuclear explosion. I told somebody else to go into a cave in Siberia and sleep with a bear. So I say the exact same thing. These are Russian bots, and I'm not having it. And people love it. The people love my comments, and it has helped grow my following. So if you want a good laugh, you get you a good laugh from it. We are going to, and also there was, it's Naylor.
Wait, my favorite one is your TikTok.
Which one?
Kamala. Her name is
That's right. Kamala, Rodney. Her name is Kamala. That's the whole point of the TikTok. And so you know how to say her name. Her name is Kamala. Kamala. And so with that being said, Candy, I'm gonna read more about the push to decriminalize marijuana from Naylor of New York, Representative Naylor, a Democrat, and see where that goes. If there are any other issues and topics for anybody out there that you want to bring up and lift to the show, please do so. Gentlemen, are there anything else that's happening in the world that you really want to talk about on tonight's show?
I want to talk about Marcus Houston marrying this 19-year-old girl. I'm gonna say this. She is grown. He is grown. These are two consenting adults. I see nothing wrong with it. I have no issue with it. I hope they have beautiful kids and have a long lasting life. What I do have issue with is when somebody is 52 years old messing with 14 and 15-year-old girls. That's a difference, America. Please don't misconstrue the two.
Well, that's illegal.
Yeah, that's illegal. That's illegal. Okay, now she was 18, she's still legal. But when you're 15, 14, 13, that's nasty. That's a difference. And I don't understand why is it okay? Why is it such a big deal for people who want to be together? I don't give a damn. She using the man, he using her. They both are consenting adults. They can do adult things. Can we stop making big deals out of people love? Like,
you know,
I don't read it.
You know what, Rodney, and that's a good point. Marquise Houston is 39 years old and she's 19 years old. That's a 20-year age difference. Donald Trump is 74 years old. Melania Trump is 53 years old. There's a 30-year, almost a 30-year difference, definitely more. So people are not commenting on the nature of a marriage like this. So why are they commenting on a marriage like that? I think you bring up a really valid and really good point. It's their life. They can do what they want.
I know one story that sort of tickled me a little bit was there are two large boat rallies that are for President Trump that are happening at Lake Lanier.
Well, Lake Allatoona. It was a misprint.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was excited about it too. I was all ready for it. I was like, Lakeland. I was ready. I was like, yes, but no. So unfortunately, Lake Lanier can't do his job. But guess what? Let me tell you something. God is real, and so is coronavirus. So it might not be that Lake Lanier can do his work, but COVID-19 showing up again.
Hey, Allatoona, come be a ram in the bush for us.
So Candy has pushed back for all of the men on the panel, and she said, how can you fall in love with a 19-year-old? Like, what do y'all have in common? She's grown, but somebody is stunted here. Damn it. I'm sure that damn it is about Lake Lanier, but still, we get the point. You know, Candy, I mean, I agree with you, but I think the point is, it's their life and they can make those mistakes. I don't know what it's. I hope the marriage lasts and I hope they're happy. You know, I'll say this, you know, one thing, you know, good sex is definitely a major component in a relationship. So if the sex is great, maybe things can last and endure. I know I'm inclined to I'm inclined to accept a whole lot of mistreatment. You know, and if the intimacy is on par. That's just me though.
Wait, let me say this. You are not going to what's that I still got her groove back me. I don't give a damn. You got me on cloud 20. The first time you misused me, you got to go. Ain't nobody love that. Let me tell you, like my grandma say, ain't nobody love that gives work your sanity and worse your dignity. You can find something else.
You know, Rodney, you're right. But here's the thing. Every relationship is going to have ups and downs, and you have to look at the things that ground you and keep you happy and keep you there. And for every single person, it's something different. I'm just speaking for me and, you know, my relationship and what, you know, why I'm so happy and so in love. And we'll leave it there and won't go into any specifics. I didn't. Next.
I bet you won't put that up there.
I put it up there and I took it down. So I gave honor to our viewer and I put it there and we move on.
You know what? I did want to add. I think for me, just addressing the conversation at large, and I'm not knocking anybody that's in this type of relationship, but when you have like one of those 20, 25, 30-year age difference kind of things, for me, those preliminary conversations like, oh, while I was graduating college, you were in elementary school. Like that kind of thing is a little it's just awkward for me. And then I think that sort of rolls into compatibility. As well, and what you've lived through as a 30, 40-year-old person versus what a 19-year-old hasn't even endured at all. And then you got to think Marcus Houston, Mark, however you pronounce his name, he's a celebrity or what have you. So you got that stature and that money right there. So this person coming into the relationship may not have to endure that, the type of financial hardships that a normal person would have to. Like, it's just so many different elements that just go into it. And then even the mindset, like at 19 getting married. Not saying it's not.
I agree with all of that. I agree with all of that. I'm not defending it. I'm just simply saying, hey, it's their life. They have the right to make those mistakes, and these are mistakes that other people have made, and they have to walk that line. And Candy, I don't necessarily know about your abstinence. I'm not calling it into question, but I'm just saying I have seen you've been working really hard to get that body right. And I saw you on the live the other night with that makeup and that face beat down. And I don't know if that's the look of an abstinent woman. I do believe that Marquise Houston or Marcus Houston, however you say it, does probably have resources available to him. And even if he doesn't have resources, he has the means to get resources because he's a built-in brand. So
if I marry somebody, y'all, if I marry somebody 30 plus years old, even 20, just please, they have a nice check behind their name. Just know I ain't finna marry anyone no 30 plus years and they ain't got nothing. Just what we doing here? What are we doing here? So you gotta just know when I invite y'all to my wedding, they 30 plus years, just know I'm sleeping very happy at night.
Well, Ronnie, it could be. Rodney, it could be that you will find someone who may be 30 years older and they just sweep you off your feet and you fall so in love that you absolutely can't resist.
Money.
And I think that's a great place to go as we conclude tonight's live. Thank you guys for joining. 5 guys on live with just 3 guys here. Tonight we will have CJ back next week and we'll have Ryan back hopefully very, very soon. We have enjoyed the engagement and we can't wait to see you on next week. If you do not follow our Instagram, please do so. Vince is going to tell you about it. We also want you to join our Facebook group, 5 Guys on Live, official 5 Guys on Live Facebook group. Vince, tell us about the Instagram.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing to build and grow our Instagram page. So we encourage you all to please make sure you follow us on Instagram at 5 Guys on Live. Spell out the number 5. It's not the number 5 Guys on Live, FIVE Guys Online. And we also, just as we like that you interact with us on our shows, please interact with us on our posts too. So we're going to be posing questions. We would love to hear from you, so on and so forth. So again, guys, follow us. And also, you all did a great job last week. I saw we had like over 20 shares from last or the week before last show. So please continue to share all of our shows. Please continue to invite some of your friends and family members to watch us. You will find us here every Monday night at 9 p.m.
And share the show if it's good. And let us know if it's not good. No, really, I'm serious. Here's a real thing. And let me say this, Candy. He better not be at, I'm going to go and look. I'm going to go on several, he better not be at no versus battle. This is a job. We do this for you. And we need your feedback to continuously get better and continuously grow. If we had 20 shares of the episode from a couple of weeks ago, we need to know what made that worth your time to share. And if you don't want to share this one, why not? What is it that doesn't make it good? We want to get better and better and better because, again, believe it or not, this takes time. It takes a commitment, and we're fully committed to it because we believe in 5 Guys on Live and where it's going to go and what we're trying to do. And we believe in you as well. We want you to also believe in us and make us better, get us right, get us good so we can be the absolute best that we can be. Candy, stop it! Like you don't.
Shout out to Candace. Candace, this is how I know you follow us. That's how I know Candace is a loyal Five Guys Live, and she is calling you.
You better not be on no lie. Like this, no. I am mad. I'll be real mad. I'll be Candy. Good night, everybody. That's the end of the broadcast. Done.